And then I see her literally crawl on top of him. And I'm like, I'm thinking heart compressions. I'm thinking, oh my God, what happened? Trying not to panic.
So let's see here.
Hi. Is this going on your channel too?
It might, yeah.
So you need to go, hello.
Hello, welcome to Bentleys, Backswoods, Bushcraft.
You look like you're in a shadow because I'm like really far forward and you're not.
This is Richard, and I think it's been a couple hours now. Since I've been out of the hospital. It was
like 2:30 when we got out of there.
Okay, and I spent a day and a half, well, a little more than a day and a half, not quite 2 days.
What is that?
Oh, it's a piece of that thing I was trying to... So...
Mystery object.
It was... Yeah, it was just shy of two days.
It was like 38 hours or something.
Somewhere
like that.
around there. I mean, it wasn't quite 2 days, but it was more than a day and a half.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
It was too long.
That I spent in the hospital. This is the first time I actually have had to spend overnight in the hospital since my birth. And
for some reason, this is a fascinating fact to him.
Well, no, it's just, if I can't say it's the first time I ever spent the night in the hospital. But
why is this even a part of the conversation? Is my whole, like, who says that? Who says, oh, by the way, never been in the hospital?
I've just never had to spend a night in the hospital.
You just think it's fascinating?
I find it unique. I'm 57 and I've never spent an overnight in the hospital.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, especially with my lifestyle.
Well, that's true.
So anyway,
okay, not gonna digress. I couldn't remember the word.
So a couple days ago,
basically Monday morning at 12:45 a.m.
I decided I was going to finish off some Chinese that we had purchased from a Chinese restaurant. Mm-hmm. It was chicken, rice, and broccoli. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love broccoli. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I overheated it a little bit in the microwave.
A little bit?
A little bit.
I don't think we can say a little bit on this.
And it was hot.
Okay, hold on. I have to adjust because my body is absolutely wrecked.
So I stuck it probably a little too much in my mouth and began to chew on it, and I realized it was really freaking hot. Well, I tried to expel it from my mouth.
Good way to put it.
And the piece of broccoli, which was a full
big hunk of broccoli,
got sucked down into my throat. And I'm not talking about just, I mean, it was down into here. And I honestly don't know, because I was in here by myself.
Yeah, I was in bed.
I honestly don't know how I got it out, but I was able to get it. I projected it out of my mouth. My throat felt burny. It was burnt. I could tell it was burnt. So I decided the best thing to do is to drink some water, because fire.
Put water on fire.
It wasn't a grease fire. It was water. Well, the water I had was actually ice water. So I took a chug of ice water. Well, instantly, and I mean freaking instantly, I started gagging really, really bad. And this may get a little gross, so if you don't want to hear gross stuff, you might want to skip a few seconds here.
Yeah, I'll tell you. We'll go like this when it's all clear.
Yeah, we'll go like this when it's clear for you to listen if things gross you out. So anyway, I immediately ran to the bathroom because I thought I was going to vomit. But wasn't what it was. I instantly developed this massive amount of mucus in my throat. And not only mucus was coming out, but blood. I mean, it was pretty not fun. So I was projecting this mucusy blood for several minutes.
I heard him. I take a Tylenol PM some nights, not every night, but some nights to help me get to sleep. And I took one that night, and I was kind of like basically out of it. I had just gotten to sleep. But I woke up hearing him because it was very loud and obviously something was wrong.
I was having difficulty breathing, but I could still breathe through my nose enough to breathe and talk. But
it was hard though. You could tell he was having a hard time.
And the mucousy blood was just...
The coffee gag kept happening.
Yeah, oh, it was bad. It was bad. I destroyed the bathroom.
He finally yelled. Do you remember what you said?
Something like, I need help, or
I think I'm in trouble
something's
here.
wrong.
No,
yeah.
You said, I think I'm in trouble
I think I'm in trouble? Yeah.
And I was instantly awake with those words because for Richard to admit, all right, okay, good.
Oh, yes, okay, yes, it's over. You can listen now. But
we'll try to keep the gross part out of it from this point. But
I really thought I was in trouble. I'll be honest. I really thought there was a problem. For him to say something
like that, there is a problem because Richard is I handle it myself. I deal with it myself. I suck it up and drive on.
Yeah. So anyway, she immediately called 911.
I walked into the bathroom and saw the mess and had flashback visions to the first. When I worked as a property manager, I found the first person, there was more than one, deceased in his apartment, and we found out later that he died from bleeding ulcers. And in my mind, I instantly went to, he's doing this because he's ruptured an ulcer or something in his stomach, or he's done something esophageal. And you can bleed to death from those, and I know you can. And so, yeah, I'm like, I'm calling 911. That's it.
And they were here in about 3 minutes.
It was about 4.
4 minutes?
It was 4 minutes later they walked in the door.
They came in and immediately took me into the ambulance.
They didn't even, say what happened, what's going on. They
saw the bucket with...
Because he had this bucket, and he's still going through this coughing, I hate to say the word gagging, but that's what he was doing, and spitting stuff up into this bucket that's supposed to be white, and it's no longer white. It's covered in the stuff that's not white. and
it's red.
Yeah.
So I get out there, and she's trying to stick me.
He is a hard person to get an IV on.
So they stuck me here first, and it didn't work. Then she stuck me here and blew that one almost instantly. I mean, blood just, that didn't work. Then she tried to get me, nope.
That one.
She tried to get me here, and that one didn't work.
And she tried here.
And she tried here, that one didn't work. And then finally, she stood over me and put me in this she-hope lock this, right?
So when she did this one, you guys were actually on that road that's over there.
Was I?
Yeah, because, so he started taking off because she thought she had it finally.
Okay.
And apparently she didn't. So they started taking off, and he U-turned and went back to that road right there. I'm guessing because it's less curvy and a little easier for them to navigate, but he,
the driver
apparently told him to stop. Now, the windows on the back of the ambulance are frosted, but I can see figures, right? And I'm like, oh my God, why are they stopping? And then I see her literally crawl on top of him. And I'm like, I'm thinking heart compressions. I'm thinking, oh my God, what happened? Trying not to panic and trying to, he's in the ambulance. He's got great medical staff. I will say that our emergency staff are amazing here in Howard County, medically wise. I'm not going to go with the KPD discussion, but medically wise, we have some amazing people here in Howard County. And so, trying not to go to the worst of the worst thoughts in my head. And then she was only there for it didn't take her but maybe a minute to get it. And I noticed that her movements weren't CPR movements. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. He needed something stupid. And I honestly had a split second thought of, I bet she couldn't get an IV.
Yeah, so she bent my arm like this. Well, in Aikido, this technique here is you grab it and you pull it back and drop it. It's a shiho nage. And she goes, oh, sorry, I have to twist your arm. I said, don't worry about it. I said, this happens to me almost every day. I said, I'm used to falling down now. But she stood over me and then shoved it in downward like this, right into me like this. And she finally got it in. And
that's the one he's had.
That's the one I've had for the last couple days.
It looks like there's gonna be a nice bruise in
There'll be a nice little bruise there. But that's the one that they've been using IV on me all for the last 2 days.
I'm really surprised that tape didn't pull off more hair.
So we get to the emergency room, and
wouldn't let me come back for the long. Well, it was only 15 minutes, but it felt like an hour. I
was still bleeding.
Yeah, and coughing.
And bleeding and getting. So anyway, they gave me. They gave me, in the emergency room, they gave me...
The first thing they gave him was Ativan to calm him. Because at this point,
Was that the stuff that made me high?
Yes. At this point, I think he was kind of panicked. I can't speak for how he actually felt, but his actions and his tone was a little panicked. And when a person gets that way, it's hard for them to calm their body down so their body can just calm.
Well, they were telling me to stop coughing up blood. I'm like, how can I stop coughing up blood?
Did they seriously?
They did. They told me to quit coughing up the blood.
How the hell do you stop coughing up blood?
So anyway, they gave me...
Here I was just bragging about y'all. Now he tells me y'all make stupid things.
They gave me the medication, and it made me high.
Oh my God! When they finally let me in there, he's sitting on the bed. He's like,
yeah, I was high. I was high, and they also gave me some stuff, some like lidocaine that I put in my mouth and swished it around. Mm-hmm. It was very thick. Viscous. It was viscous. Anyway, that's how it started. And we were in the emergency room for 8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours.
Almost to the T.
And then they decided they were going to keep me because my throat... This is what happened. I got 3rd-degree burns on the inside of my throat.
Almost to the esophagus.
3rd-degree burns on the inside of my throat.
We were allowed to see the CAT scan, the image of his throat.
Oh yeah, it was swollen. It was huge.
And you could totally tell that tissue was all swollen.
It was bad.
Irritated.
Well, anyway, I could breathe. It was hard to talk, but I could breathe, but I couldn't swallow. No, couldn't even swallow saliva.
Anytime he tried to swallow anything, he'd start gagging horrible. Again. And since he couldn't eat and couldn't swallow,
they sent me to...
The doctor said, I can't send you home. I'm waiting for the ear, nose, and throat guy to see what he wants me to do. So the ear, nose, and throat guy said, well, he can't go home.
They wouldn't send me home.
So it was consensus that they...
And I'm going to be honest, I'm glad because of what they did to me later. Super helped out. So they were going to just send me to a regular room, but the hospital was kind of full, so they sent me to the ICU. And so I sat for a day and a half.
It was so sweet because the nurse was like, okay, we're going to turn the corner and the sign's going to say ICU. He's not that bad. It's just that we have no other beds. I'm like, I understand. I get it.
I'll be honest. I thought they were going to take me to like a burn unit or something because
I kind of wondered, but yeah.
So
I don't think Howard has a burn unit.
Okay, though. So when I was there, they were pumping me full of steroids, and they gave me some more pain meds, but it didn't make me loopy or nothing.
No, they gave you hold on, not tramadol, Toradol.
Okay. It didn't affect me like that other stuff did. Right. The other stuff made me high.
The Ativan's not a pain medicine. The Ativan is like a muscle relaxer / anti-anxiety med.
Well, it worked.
Yes.
I'll be honest, it wasn't too bad.
He kept going, whoa.
My hand, I know it's really there, but it looked like 3D. You know how it was just weird. I can't explain it. I was tripping. So they were pumping me with about every 2 hours. They were giving me steroids and pain medication.
And lidocaine every couple of hours.
And honestly, I think that's what really helped.
It was definitely the steroids with the swelling.
If they would have sent me home, I don't think I'd be right now. I still wouldn't
still be out of it.
But
in so much pain.
So
there's no way we could.
Oh yeah, it was very painful. It was very painful. So basically, I just sat in a bed. I couldn't sleep for many reasons. One is she wasn't there, and she was there most of the
time,
but from 9 to 9 is the only time they would allow her there. And they have quiet time from 2 to 3.
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
Technically, visiting hours in the ICU is 9 to 2 and then 4 to 9.
Yeah.
So yesterday, when they got him up to the room, it was like 10:30. Now, mind you, at this point, I had technically been up for like 25 hours or 26 hours from the day before because I had just fallen asleep when this all started. So I had been up, and I told him, I'm like, baby, I am sorry. I've got to go home and take a nap. But I did go back up at the 4 o'clock hour. Well, I got there at like 4:15.
Yeah.
And I stayed up there until 9.
About 9 o'clock. So we were watching the Michigan State and Washington State football game, and she left at 9 o'clock. I then actually got like 2 hours of sleep, actual sleep.
I think that was the most you got the whole
That was
time,
all I got.
Yeah.
And then I woke up about 11 o'clock, and there was like 3 or 4 minutes left on the game, and I watched the very end of the game. And by the way, Michigan State just whomped Washington's ass. So I finished watching that, and then I turned the TV off. I laid there until 3 o'clock. I turned the TV back on and watched some news. But I was basically up the rest of the time. I would take like little cat naps. But about every 2 hours they would come in and give me medicine. But they would make me, I mean, I was already awake, but I saw the lady in there and she thought I was asleep, and she was standing there and she was going to leave until I said something.
Okay.
All right. I don't remember where I was at. I don't remember what we were talking about. Well, I mean, I remember what we were talking about.
I don't remember where you're at in the story. So they got you up to the ICU.
So they got me up to the ICU. We'll go there.
Yeah.
So they got me up to the ICU. I'd say a day and a half, and about every hour and a half they'd come in and shoot me up.
Oh, they were talking about not being able to sleep because they kept coming in.
Oh, yeah. So I couldn't sleep anyway because Michelle wasn't there. And honestly, that's just the truth.
Yeah. I mean, he and I, we don't do well apart. That's just all there is to it.
So, but they were coming in every couple hours, and then that one lady came in and stood there, and I still have my eyes closed, and I could feel her in there, and she was getting ready to turn around, and I opened my eyes up and looked at her, and they weren't, I don't know why, I had an IV, and they could have just went in and right there when I was asleep.
Because they have to notify you that they're treating you.
Anyway,
they're not allowed to just go in and do
but anyway.
I've had this discussion with nurses in the past. I'm like, waking somebody up to, okay.
Wake them up, give them a sleep pill.
Semi-digress, but semi-not. So my mom has been in the hospital, I don't know how many times, a lot. And one of the times that she was in, she was sleeping, like snoring, sleeping. And the nurse woke her up to say, do you want a sleeping pill?
Well, now I need one because you woke me up, damn it.
Like, are ya kidding me right now? But I guess...
So,
for like your situation, you know, they are supposed to notify the patient before giving any treatments.
Interestingly, they thought my case was interesting.
Talk of the hospital. Not even kidding.
A lot of people
talk of the hospital
thought that it was interesting. I think that the word interesting meant, what a dumb fuck. He choked on a piece of broccoli.
And burned his throat. Severely.
Yes. And they were talking about me in their meetings because several people came in and was talking to me about, and they said, every one of them said, I have never heard of anybody choking on broccoli. Every one of them.
To the point that you end up in ICU.
Yeah. So when I do it, I do it.
Today when I went up, sorry, I'm pulling the braids out of my hair. Today when I went up to see him, I got there I timed this, by the way, from here to up to the outside the ICU doors, it took me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Half of that was freaking walking, just trying to walk into that daggone, because it was like half the hospital. So anyway, today, right as I get on the floor where the ICU is, I hear code blue, ICU. And I'm like, my heart almost stops. And again, because of my anxiety, and I know this is because of my anxiety, worst thought scenario goes through my head. And this all happens, you know, in the blink of an eye when these thoughts occur like this. And then they said, room 7. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Jesus. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, wait. Okay, no. I felt bad because then I felt like I was pushing arm on poor number 7. But, so when I got to the doors, I had to wait. You know, they were busy. The whole floor was trying to keep this person alive. So obviously, I need to wait, which is fine. All of that to say, the chaplain came around the corner and he walked in, and I think at first he thought I was with room 7. And he said, are you waiting to go in? I said, yeah. I said, my husband's Richard Bentley. He's in room 6. He goes, oh, okay. And then he and I talked for a few minutes, and he brought up that during their morning, they call it a morning huddle. So basically they go over the new cases that have come into the hospital over the night. And apparently in the huddle, he was discussed at length. And I told one of the nurses as we were leaving today, I told her, I said, you know, I know, and I know you can't tell me, and I understand the professionalism, and it's fine, and I appreciate that. I said, but I know that in that huddle, at least one person said, what the fuck? Broccoli? He's here for broccoli? it kind of became the running joke.
Well, you know, and not that I'm trying to defend myself, but we have a granddaughter who actually ingested a peanut that got into her lung.
Ended up down at Peyton Manning for emergency surgery.
Yeah, so if you can suck a peanut in there and that's not super crazy, what's crazy about a peanut?
Okay, the difference is she's 3, and she didn't scald her throat. I think it's not that it was broccoli. It's the damage that you did to yourself with
because
broccoli.
of broccoli. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway.
Alright, so
that's kind of the story.
He's home.
I'm back.
We're both very much happy now. He is not healed. He's not healed.
No.
His diet, which I'm going to show you what we bought him today.
I need to stick to liquids.
Semi-restricted.
Yeah, a little bit. I did have
food, not super solid food.
Yes.
So basically, like no meats.
Yeah, they did allow me. They did allow me that. What would they call that? The second menu that I had. Because the first menu was just liquid,
liquid diet,
and I had chicken broth.
Oh gosh, what was that second menu called? I almost grabbed him and brought him home, and now
I don't know. Anyway, it was.
They called it something a GI diet. Basically, it was mushy food.
Mushy food, but they did let me have tuna salad. But the bread really was scratchy on my throat. It actually hurt my throat.
Like I said, you probably should have not eaten.
I know
the whole bread thing.
They wouldn't give me orange juice. So Michelle ordered herself some orange juice.
So I got
stupid me said, "Hey, I want to take a taste of that orange juice." So I just took, just a little sip. Dude, it freaking burned. Oh my God, it was horrible. Oh, it was bad. I started gagging and coughing.
And I was like, oh God, here we go again. Now he's not going to get to go home. And
so anyway,
the nurse heard him coughing though, and
she came in. And I told her, I said, no, I tried something I wasn't supposed to have.
Yeah, we owned it.
Yeah.
We owned it.
But yeah, no orange juice, nothing. So that means no tomatoes.
Nothing acidic. No pop, no tomatoes, no.
My throat is still jacked up.
Yeah,
it's just, I can breathe fine, I can talk fine.
And even if talking too long, you start to get
That's true. If I start getting raspy and my throat starts itching and hurting.
So there's some damage there. It's going to take a few days to heal. Thankfully, we've been told by many people the throat heals quickly.
It does.
I'm praying that continues. He didn't damage his vocal cords.
No.
You didn't damage your esophagus or your airway.
No.
Extensively to the point of problems in the future that we're aware of.
It's not. Yeah.
From what I researched, depending on what scar tissue could come of this, there might be problems as he gets older. The only problem, another problem with this whole situation is he has acid reflux and he has COPD.
Yes.
So he has coughing jags all the time. Now, the thing with that lidocaine viscous that has helped is that because it keeps all of that numb, he's not been coughing as much, the coughing fits.
That's true.
And the medicine that they gave you for the acid reflux has helped. The medicine we have isn't as high grade.
Yeah, it's
and
Chloris something or other. Claritin. No,
that's your allergy.
That's Allergen. I don't know. Anyway,
it's Prilosec OTC.
Okay, Prilosec.
But we use the generic of it. Omeprazole. That's what it is.
Okay.
Omeprazole.
Anyway,
I think I'm going to double him up on the omeprazole for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Just to help make sure that acid reflux stays low.
So anyway, I spent 8 hours in the emergency room and a day and a half total in the hospital between the ICU and emergency room because I decided to try to swallow some very hot broccoli.
Scalding hot lava broccoli.
Lava broccoli. And I gave my throat 3rd-degree burns, and now broccoli is my kryptonite. But
okay, go get my stuff so we can do this.
So now we're going to do a haul.
So now we're going to do a haul of the stuff that we found. We found a couple of treasures that have nothing to do with his diet restrictions. Holy crap, I'm hurting so bad. Okay.
You want him up here?
I want him up here. Are you coming back on the couch?
Oh no, I thought I would just walk away and ignore you for now.
I didn't know what you were doing.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing, what I'm really doing.
Okay. Alright, so we're just going to grab bags and go. This is technically for me, but he will eat it. And then I realized I don't know how much milk we have. But we got some chocolate pudding. I want a chocolate pudding. It just sounded good. Today
Chocolate's the only pudding I like.
Today when I ordered my lunch up at the hospital, I almost got chocolate pudding and decided not to. We also got some gelatin. He got cherry. Hold on, there's more in that bag. He got orange, cherry, and because, you know, he stayed in the hospital, he needs some green jello. So we got some green. And then, oh man. All right, fine, go down there. He wants to make some chicken pot pie?
Homemade chicken pot pies.
So he got some gravy mixes to help with the pot pie.
That'll be next week or so when I can actually eat that kind of stuff.
Right. So yeah, he grabbed those again. Warm tea. Where's the bear? Okay, I'll get this. So warm tea is one of the things he's allowed to have, and he enjoys it, along with honey. Honey is a great soother for the, you know, throats and ailments, and a great
helps infections.
Yeah, what's that called though? An antiseptic?
And it is an antiseptic.
It's a natural antiseptic. That's the word I was looking for. So we grabbed some tea bags because we were out, I think. I couldn't remember if we bought some in our grocery haul or not.
We're out.
Well, we're not out now. We bought some.
Yeah.
And I would love to find some real honey close to us, but this was the realest honey we could find at a price we were willing to pay. Some of those honey prices were stupid. One of the things he bought to eat is some, this is kind of ironically funny, broccoli cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get to that here in a minute too. Broccoli cheese soup.
Broccoli! I love broccoli.
That I will monitor the temperature of. And cream of chicken condensed soup, again, that I will monitor the temperature of. And we thought maybe some pears, because they're not, I hope they're not too acidic.
We hope not.
I will take a bite of them. I'll test it. Actually, that's like the only canned fruit that I like is canned pears. Real, like fresh pears, I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't care for peaches, canned, fresh, or otherwise.
I like peaches.
I don't care for nectarines along that line. I do like plums, but I can't remember the last time we were able to find or buy plums. Can you? That sounds so good all of a sudden.
Prunes.
I don't like prunes.
Prunes are plums.
But I don't like them when they're pruned.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other fruits that you buy. Mandarin oranges.
Tomatoes.
Mandarin oranges I will eat, but not a whole lot of. I prefer them fresh. I don't like canned. Anyway.
So when I got my actual meal.
His first time eating food.
My first time eating food in like 36 hours. I got some applesauce. Now, I'll tell you, out of everything I had, the applesauce really felt good on my throat.
He liked it the best, so
we got some applesauce.
Unsweetened again because don't want to worry about the...
So here, we'll do this one.
Wait, we'll finish the Walmart.
Okay, and then your special stuff.
Then I'll tell a story. So we're wandering through Walmart looking at stuff and happened upon... Now, you guys... Okay, first of all... We all know my obsession with the main mouse, right?
This.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, before I get to that, well, now you kind of know what I got. Anyway, for Jalinda's sprinkle that we're doing, I'm doing a cake. I'm still trying to work out exactly what I'm doing for a cake. I know I bought some cake mixes, but I don't know. I need to talk to Jalinda, and I found these. We're going to use these as part of the solution. But this... 3 cake boards. These are 10-inch diameters, but I don't need 10. We're going to cut them down. My amazing husband helped me work out how we can do that. But these were like $3. Well, that's like $2.87 or $3.87.
Yeah, something.
$3 or $4, something like that. And there's, like I said, there's 3 in there. But it's either, no matter path I take, that's the solution to what I need.
Yes.
All right, so we're wandering through the store. I don't even know why we were looking for blades for my
X-Acto knife.
And I stumbled upon a display, and now I'm kind of wishing I had taken a picture of it for you guys. And it had Mickey Mouse 100 anniversary stuff. I was so excited. Can you take that out of that, please? The first thing I'm going to show you is a drawing notebook, sketchbook, however you want to call it. It comes with these, what is it, four pins. It is a sketchbook, which means the papers are unlined. when I tell you guys the price on these, you guys are gonna flip your lids. If you're
$87.
If you guys are Disney fans, y'all are gonna freak. And then it had a squishy nut. Look at it, it says squishy Mickey, squishy Mickey. I didn't even look at it. Yep, this one is lined. Look at his little face. And there's the cover, which the other one has the same exact cover. Guys, these were $5. A licensed Disney product with pins, $5. Now this one doesn't come with pins, but this one does. $5.
And they had a big old pack of pins.
They had a pack of scented pins. I think there was 20. No.
There was at least
maybe 20, maybe 24 pins in that pack.
I think it might have, yeah, somewhere around
which
there.
I would like to go back and get. And then they also had a big scroll. There was a coloring pad. They had canvases that already had the pictures on them. You just colored them. That also came with pins.
They had sticky notes.
They had sticky notes. They had several different styles of the squishy face notepad, and they had another style of the sketch pad that I got. $5. I could not believe the price. Could not. So this is not something we purchased today. Jalinda, bless her heart. So yesterday, Michael and Jalinda came up. Unfortunately, Beckett is not allowed in the ICU. You have to be 18 to be in there to visit. And so he wasn't allowed back, which broke hubby's heart.
It did break my heart.
It was so sad. But Jalinda, even though he couldn't eat, she knew I was going to be up there for a long time, so she wanted me to have some snacks. And I thought this was so sweet of them.
It was.
So they stopped. Now, I already ate the beef jerky that she got me because, you know, beef jerky. But she also grabbed me some cheesy doodles, which is, you know, cheese puffs, which girl knows me. The girl knows me. She also grabbed us some, well, me, but I'll wait and we'll both have these Twizzlers because we both love Twizzlers. Which, again, super sweet. And a Dole lemonade. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not sure about this thing. I'm going to stick it in the fridge and let it get really, really cold. You okay?
Yep, I was just getting up.
Okay. Let it get really, really cold and see if I like it better. Just chilled was not quite enough. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up because I need to get it edited. I'm going to try to get it up for Monday. I'll have to rearrange my videos a little bit, but I know a lot of people had a lot of questions. If you saw this on Facebook, I was updating Facebook. Every time a nurse or a doctor came into the room, I posted. I posted the time, what they said, and what was going on. And I really, hubby, I want to say thank you to everybody for all of your well wishes and your concern. Uh-oh, you alright? Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, you guys.
Woo.
But I really want, oh God, pushing my back, it hurt. Really appreciate the well wishes and the love and the prayers. Uh-oh, you not done? I really wanted to wrap this up, but I really wanted him to say no. Okay. Okay. So, all right, guys. He needs to be done. He's God Almighty. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Big hugs. Oh, baby. Much love. Bye.